For me, when I first started out, it was purely because I enjoyed playing the game. You know, my dad introduced me to squash, and it was a lot about, it was good for my fitness. It was good to play a sport, especially after school, because I would be in school all day long. And I think it's so important to take up a sport. And of course, I'm going to be partial towards squash, and it's been a great game for me from the time I was growing up. And I think it's wonderful to have women come forward and try the game out, and it's good for fitness and your health and forming friendships and all of that. So I definitely encourage people to try and take up squash.
Honestly, I think the main thing is just getting on court. Grab a friend, grab a buddy, get some rackets and a ball, and just go out there and play. It's such an amazing game. It's so much fun. The social aspect and the community aspect that comes with squash is truly one of a kind, and I think that's the best part. Not only is it a great workout, but just the friends you make from it and the community that you have within squash is the best.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really big at trying to encourage young girls to play, and even women who, no matter what your age, I think squash is such a exciting game for men and women. I mean, if you look at the PSA World Tour, you have women having matches that are just as long as the men, which is really interesting, and I think it's a dynamic that's quite unique to squash. I think it's obviously such an enjoyable sport. I mean, some of my best friends are made through picking up squash when I was younger and playing the game. Down at my club, it's such a good community of people, so whether you want to play at a professional level or just at a social level, I think it's such a good sport to get into. It's going to teach you so many life lessons, and I think as a woman, I think squash is a great sport to get into just because there is a lot of parity in it, and like I said, it might not be like that in other sports at the moment, which is a shame, but I think if we can keep the ball rolling and get as many girls as possible into squash, then it will just keep highlighting how amazing the game is, and especially and how good the athletes are.
For me, for example, squash was always my passion, so I would always say if just follow your passion and never stop, even if anyone was telling you you're not good enough to do it. So I just think following your passion is one of the greatest thing you can do to yourself in your life in general. I feel like squash had made me the person who I am today. It helped me overcome a lot of challenges, not only on the squash court, what you're learning on the squash court, it reflects in your life in general and on the court as well. I think squash have put me in different situations that I wouldn't be tested the same in normal life. If I wasn't playing squash or being an athlete in general, I wouldn't be the person I am today. The pressure, the commitment, the dedication, the consistency, all of this I've learned because of squash. So I think if people would qualify me as being a persistent person or a determined one, it's one of the main reasons it's because of squash.
Well, I believe that the women's game is improving a lot now, and all women in squash right now are taking the game to a higher level, and I feel like we're all improving, we're all looking to improve the weaknesses we have, and that's why if we look back at the women's game a couple of years ago, it wasn't as competitive as right now. So encouraging all female athletes to keep working and keep improving the weaknesses they have, and keep probably watching the top female athletes right now, and at the last couple of years as well, to learn from them.
Well, I always see that playing sports is one of the best things that anyone could do, and especially a woman, if she is achieving something in sports, it's different because long time ago it was mainly for men, or mainly men who are playing sports. So yeah, being a woman playing sport, very competitive in it, achieving a lot of things. It's something that every woman has to be proud of, and every woman has to try and just try to be good in whatever field she wants to go for.
I would say pick up a racket and just go for it, because women are getting equal opportunities these days, and in the squash world anyway, with the prize money and the points and the tournaments and stuff. So yeah, it's a great time to be a female in squash.